let's see here. We have some more questions for you, Lee. And I want to ask one. Well, I'm finding another one for you. Because I've been curious your take on this, and this is something that I know is near both of us, but something that you specifically are dealing with literally firsthand.
Genital herpes?
Huh?
Genital herpes?
Naturally, but I thought we'd close with that before we get there. Before we get there, RussiaGate and what's been going on with RT America. So what has changed since the FARA Act on your end specifically?
Well, I know, yeah, I mean, so the news department had, or whatever, the head of the news division or whatever had to register under FARA as a quote unquote foreign agent. It hasn't, in fact, impacted me personally at all. I know that it looks like it's been used to try and make, especially their news division. I mean, there is kind of a different thing. It's like I have my own show doing my own stuff. Jesse Ventura has his, Larry King has his. But so the news division, I think, has a tougher time because their job is to go report at the White House, to be at these press briefings. And I think it's been used, the FARA Act thing has been used to try and make it difficult for RT reporters to kind of get access to the events that they need access to be a news division. Other than that, I don't know. It hasn't impacted me. What's impacted me far more is the same suppression that you guys are dealing with the Jimmy Dore show. I mean, that's hitting any outside the corporate media voices. And as you guys have talked about, and I've talked about it, it crushes numbers and searches and everything else to just try and get everybody to only watch the corporate legacy media.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why this whole thing has frustrated me. I mean, I remember when we were at the Convergence conference together back in September, you know, we were making jokes about the whole RussiaGate thing. And I don't know about you, but I was thinking by now it would be a thing of the past. It's still going. And I mean, it's going to just go indefinitely at this point.
Well, it's an act of desperation, you know, so that's why they can't give it up at this point. They have nothing else, kind of, you know, the corporate Democrats have nothing else to really say that they're trying to help America with. I have a joke in my act now about, you know, oh, we're the resistance. Oh, you mean on Wall Street exploitation? No, we're not on that. Oh, we're the resistance on Big Pharma? No, not on that. Oh, we're the resistance on, you know, prison, unlimited prison and population? No, not on that. And they just go down the list. Well, what are you fucking resisting? Oh, well, we don't like porn star hush money. Like they're not really resisting anything. So they just have to keep pointing at Russia and say, you did this. And, you know, you guys have done a brilliant job of covering it. I think you're doing an incredibly important service. But I think most of America, even if they believe that Russia put up Facebook ads or whatever, they don't think that that's why Trump got elected. So I don't think it's really working. But, you know, some of these things, you say it long enough, and studies have proven, psychologists have proven that people confuse familiarity for accuracy or fact.
Right.
So if you say the phrase Russia hacked the election over and over, even if it's a panel, did Russia hack the election? You just say it again and again and again. And eventually people go, oh, I guess Russia hacked the election, even without any evidence.
Well, and when I see other people on the left that are a little more just either on board with it or even just a little more patient with it, like, oh, let's let it play out and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I feel like you can't even give it credibility anymore at this point because look at the way this has been used, first of all, where it's been used to suppress independent voices. It's been used to have Silicon Valley decide what is and isn't free speech. It's been used to have intelligence agencies monitor social media more than ever before. It's just, how does parroting this and endorsing this serve any positive purpose for the left? It doesn't. Especially since even if something were to happen to Trump, you're getting Pence. Like there's just no positive purpose. Yeah. I can't think of one at this point.
Well, positive for them, there's a purpose, you know, to shut down anti-war, anti-corporate thought. So positive, right. to the corporate Democrats, there's a big positive. But in terms of, you're right, in terms of, there's a lot of kind of left-leaning voices or voices that consider themselves left that are like, well, I guess I'll sheepishly go along with RussiaGate because maybe it'll get Trump out of office. And, you know, it proves my liberal bona fides that I endorse it or whatever. But you know, it is just WMD all over again. You know, it's even the same fucking faces. It's Mueller. Mueller was on the, you know, he's the head of the FBI during WMD and went in front of Congress and said, oh, yeah, there's WMD. We got to invade Iraq. So it's like, it's the same people. It's Bill Kristol. It's the same. They've trotted out the same neocon goons to lie to the American people all over again. And it's really because if you go along with this, then what are you going to stop at? What are you going to stop and say, hey, we as a people are going to stand for truth and evidence? You know, if you let this pass as like, oh, maybe it'll be good and take down Trump, you kind of have given up your ability to stand up for truth and stand up for verifiable evidence of any of this stuff. It's all a big fucking dog and pony show to cover up the fact that most Americans are now thinking about corporations taking over our system, and the fact that our election system is a fraud, and the fact that we're always at war, even though the American people by polls don't agree with these wars. It's all kind of come out, and so now the ruling elite have nothing left but to say, don't look at us, look at Russia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey says, thanks, dude. And Jeffrey, thank you for your super chat contribution. Malik has a suggestion for you, Lee. And I don't know if you've ever tried this, but a great pickup line, I'm a foreign agent.
Yeah, it does it every time. It does. It works like a charm. I find it that much funnier because, like, one side of my family is like this old, you know, we have George Washington's niece Nellie they signed their hand towels because back then the hand towels were like rare and stuff. So we have Nellie Washington's hand towel framed on our home wall, and I'm named after and descended from Robert E. Lee, and it's just like I'm this old like lineage of Americans, and yet I'm a foreign agent all of a sudden. Interesting. Didn't realize.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.